Hi everyone, today I want to talk about chess, not as a game, but as a design system. Today theme is about short size, but fundamental, and it's about the design of chess. Form, meaning, fashion, and why. Chess is a design object, and yeah, my code isn't an instant, but necessary thing to represent it. So, we all recognize chess pieces instantly. Even if we don't play, we know who the king is, who the queen is, who the pawn is, but have you ever wondered why we look the way we do? Who decided that the knight should look like a horse or that a rook should look like a tower? In this video we will talk about how the design of chess was formed, why it's a perfect example of user-centered design, how chess shapes appear in fashion and visual culture, and why chess language works so well as a design metaphor. So, how chess pieces appeared. A short historical background. Chess did not appear in its modern visual form immediately. The early versions of game came from India and Persia, and the first pieces were much more abstract. They represented military units rather than personalities. Chariots, elephants, soldiers. When chess traveled to Europe, the meanings of the figure starts to change. Elephants slowly transformed into bishops, advisors transformed into queens, became adapted to European culture, religion, and visual thinking. This tells us something very important from a design perspective. Form is never neutral, it always reflects the culture that creates it. Chess pieces didn't just evolve for beauty, they evolved to become readable, symbolic, and culturally recognizable. So, the next one. Stanton. Why this design became the standard? At some point, chess needed a visual standard. By the 19th century, there were too many decorative, confusing, and impractical chess sets. Some were beautiful but hard to play with. Others were symbolic but difficult to distinguish in the board. So, this is when the Stanton design appeared. It was created in the mid 19th century and quickly became international standard for tournaments. Why? Because it solves several key design problems at once. The pieces were easily to recognize, comfortable to hold, stable on the board, visually balanced, and suitable for mass production. So, this is why when people imagine classic chess pieces, we almost always imagine the Staunton set, even if we don't know the name. So, chess as a perfect example of user-centered design. From a UX perspective, chess is an incredible design case. First, readability. Each piece must be recognizable instantly from different angles and at a distance. Second, tactility and balance. A good chess piece must feel stable in the hand, not spoil too easily, and move smoothly across the board. Third, visual hierarchy. Even without knowing the rules, you can visually guess which piece is more important. The king is the tallest, the queen is dynamic and dominant, the pawns are small and repetitive. This is a perfect example of how form to communicates value. Chess proves that good design is not decoration, it is more like communication. So, the meaning of each shape, what we pieces say visually. Each chess piece speaks a visual language. The king is vertical, stable, central. He rarely moves, but everything revolves them around them. The queen is mobile, aggressive, and dominant. Her shape often feels sharper and more dynamic. The rook is heavy, architectural, grounded. It looks like a structure, like a fortress. The knight is the most emotional figure. It breaks symmetry, most unpredictable, and visually feels alive because of the animal form. The palace is minimal, repeated, and humble, but it holds the promise of transformation. From a design perspective, this is a system of archetypes: power, movements, defense, chaos, growth, all expressed through form. So, minimalism against decoration. How designers reimaginate chess. Through history, chess sets moved between two extremes. On the other side, highly decorative chess, luxury materials, sculptures, fantasy themes, kings as royal monarchs, spouses as tiny soldiers. On the other side, radical minimalism. Designers removed faces, crowns, details, and left only pure geometry. This creates an important design questions. How much information can you remove before the object stops being readable? Chess is one of the best experiences in visual reduction. It constantly tests the boundary between symbol and abstraction. So, chess and fashion. When clothing becomes a game of power, chess is not only a game. In fashion, it becomes a powerful visual metaphor, and designers have used it considerously, not decoratively. The chessboard represents conflict, strategy, duality, control, and power struggle, and fashion, as a visual language of status and identity, turns out to be a perfect medium for this symbolism. One of the most iconic examples is Alexander McQueen's Spring Summer Collection 2005, It's Only a Game. McQueen literally transformed the runway into chessboard. Models moved like pieces, and the entire show was structured as a strategic confrontation rather than traditional fashion presentation. This was not about prints or patterns, chess became the narrative framework of a collection, a contrast between black and white, with sharp tailoring, rigid silhouettes, all of it reflected hierarchy, opposition, and the idea that fashion itself can be a battlefield of power and dominance. McQueen often treated fashion as a theater, and here chess allowed him to speak about cultural tension, control, and the illusion of choice, as if every move had already been planned in advance. Another important moment where chess entered fashion was not a runway show, but a current design experiment. The Paint project, organized by the World Chess Hall of Fame together with the Saint Louis Fashion Fund, paired fashion designers with a professional chess grandmasters, where goal was to translate chess logic into garments, not visually copying the game, but interpreting its principles. One of the winner designs was inspired by the Queen, the most powerful and mobile piece on the board. This featured sharp, armor-like laser cuts, reinforcing buff protection and aggressive freedom of movements and dominance. Here, chess was treated as a design system. Hierarchy, mobility, sacrifice, and control were translated directly into silhouette, structure, and material. There was even a museum level exploration of his connection in the exhibition. A queen with adorned archetypes, fashion, and chess, held at the World Chess Hall of Fame. This exhibition explored how chess archetypes, especially the queen, appear in fashion as symbols of authority, identity, and power. It featured works by designers such as Alexander McQueen, Hussein Chakalain, and Martin Margiela, showing that chess imagery is not playful decoration, but a serious symbolic tool in fashion design. The exhibition framed chess as a language of roles. Who leads, who obeys, who sacrifices, and who survives. In fashion, chess is rarely about the game itself, it is about status, tension, psychological roles, and controls. Designers return to chess imagery because it allows them to talk about power without explaining it. The viewer reads it instinctively, just like we instantly recognize a king, a queen, or a pawn on the board. So, chess in graphic and industrial design. In graphic design, chess is often used as shortcut to meaning. A single chess piece can instantly communicate leadership, sacrifice, planning, manipulation, strategy. That's obviously why you see chess imagery in branding, advertising, corporate visuals, political posters, of course. Chess becomes a visual metaphor for thinking system. And chess language as a design language. What makes chess even more powerful is its terminology. We use chess words outside of the game. A pawn as a small but necessary part of a system, sacrificing something for a bigger goal, protecting the king as protecting the core idea, making a strategic move. This language translates beautifully into design thinking, what is the main piece of this composition, what can be sacrificed, what must be protected at all costs. Chess becomes not just a game, but a model of structured thinking. So, my conclusion. Chess is a rare example where form, function, symbolism, and culture exist in perfect balance. It shows how that good design is readable, strong design, symbolic, and timeless design adapts without losing its core. That's why chess is still visually relevant after hundreds of years. And that's why designers keep returning to it again and again. So, thank you for watching. And I have to mention one thing, this video is made just for fun and to practice my English, so if you notice any mistakes in my language or in my analysis, I would be very happy and appreciate to read your thoughts in the comments section. And maybe you want to tell me, do you prefer classic chess sets or artistic experimental ones? And what design topics should we explore next? For now, just bye.